What's going on, everybody? My name is JT and you're tuned in to The People's Trader, your source for no-nonsense crypto, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis. If that's the sort of thing that tickles your fancy, then why don't you hit the subscribe button? I do this every single day, except for the days that I don't. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, take a look at the market, see how the market health is doing. We're having a little bit of a move up right now. And we're also going to take a look at some of these DeFi governance tokens like Sushi and Uniswap token, UNI, as well as another coin that I've been looking at, and it doesn't seem to have a lot of hype, and it's a pretty interesting project. So we'll go ahead and dive into that. Stay tuned to the end of the video. So let's jump right into Bitcoin. So Bitcoin did get a nice, beautiful candle. A lot of people were looking at this symmetrical triangle. The symmetrical triangle trend line has been broken, and we got a nice breakout. So it's currently flagging. On the macro, though, we're still inside of this macro accumulation. So as a lot of the people who watch the channel are aware, we're inside of this macro Wyckoff reaccumulation after distribution or after a decline. And we're still range bound inside of this range here. So until we can get a move outside of this range, I'm not super bullish. Or I'm not getting out of hand thinking that we're going to the moon or anything. So we do need to get above 11,200. We need to break through this resistance, and we need to test down either to this level or this level here and continue a move to the upside for me to get really bullish and maybe consider adding to a position or opening up some sort of supplementary, very low leveraged long position or anything like that. I typically don't advise doing any paper trading, but if there's a lot of people that like leverage trading, so if you're interested in what I would think would be a opportunity to enter one of those positions, I typically don't advise that you enter any leveraged position inside of a consolidation area. But if we are to get above 11.2 and make a move above that point, that would be a move into a markup phase where you could get a real considerable gain out of Bitcoin. So what is interesting though is if we go over to the DeFi index, we're getting a nice stopping action here. So you can see the volume is starting to come back into the DeFi space. So this is the DeFi index perpetual futures. So this is just like an index that keeps track of all the DeFi tokens. And we can see that we have not quite broken the trend line yet. But inside of Wyckoff, we do have these volume spikes. So there is a bit of stopping action that is occurring around this level. So some of the DeFi plays are looking good. We got a nice volume spike here. We got a nice volume spike here, and we now have a nice volume spike here. So let's go ahead and just draw a range here and see what we can see. If we go to this volume spike here, this could be potentially a seller's climax, and then we can move that up. Yeah, so this is kind of the trading range inside of Wyckoff. If you're interested in learning the Wyckoff method, go ahead and join the free Discord. First of all, there I will be able to share plenty of free resources with you inside of that community. Some of the PDFs and whatnot that I have used to help me learn this method. But along with that as well is you will also get free access to the private trading group. A 3-day access to the trading group so that you can get in, see what setups we're looking at, see what coins we're interested in, and maybe enter a trade based on that information that we in the group are looking at. So, okay, we're inside of this trading range. We got our seller's climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. We got a nice upward thrust. Okay, so this is a little early, but this is showing a sign of strength. So we do have a sign of strength here. We have some upward action. That was met with a little bit of weakness. So this is quite a significant move to the downside. You can see the volume here with this move to the downside brought us back into the range. We did get back out of the range. So it's really fighting to meet those levels, but that was met with another move to the downside. So seeing this kind of action right here is actually flipping my interpretation of what's going on inside of the charts here. And I'm going to go ahead and move this up. And I think what's happening here is this is looking a little like distribution. Now this could just be tentative. We don't really know, but this is looking, yeah. So you know what, okay, let's take a look here. Let's try and figure this out. So maybe this is preliminary support. This is our seller's climax, automatic reaction, secondary test, and then we came out here. Okay, so that's more or less the same. Wyckoff is not about patterns, okay? Wyckoff is about signals. It's about interpreting the price action in the context of volume. So what we're looking for as Wyckofians, we're trying to find strength in the asset. We're trying to discern whether Composite Man is accumulating or if Composite Man is distributing his shares. So that's mostly what we're trying to do here. So when I take a look at this, it looks very much like distribution. We have this nice sell-off here. We got a bit of a recovery, and this is kind of like our up thrust after distribution. So here's our distribution in our upward action, and then we got an up thrust and distribution, and this is a sign of weakness. So I'm leaning bearish. I don't think we're quite there yet. As far as DeFi as a whole, remember this is just an index. However, there are a couple coins inside of the DeFi space that I want to take a closer look at because they are looking maybe not strong, but they're looking as though there is a stopping action coming in. So the first one we're going to go ahead and take a look at is UNI. So UNI was inside of this trading range here, and it was in a downtrend. It hasn't been on the market that long. It's at about $3.25 at the time of recording this video. And we do have a volume spike here. So if we move over, oh, we're already on the 4 hour, that's good. So we have this volume spike here. This is indicating a stopping action, okay? So we came down and buyers came in. You can see this increase in volume here. So the buying action is, or sorry, the stopping action is on the buying side. So this could be a preliminary support. So we could call this preliminary support. Let's just draw it in PS. So here's our preliminary support range. So we could get another move down, and that should come with some volume. So if we get a nice move to the downside, possibly to $2, maybe $1.50, some nice round number. Because keep in mind, this is a new asset. The market is trying to agree upon a price. And when it's new and the market is trying to agree on something, human bias towards round numbers or easily divisible numbers or common numbers that we just deal with in everyday life tend to be numbers that get a lot of price action. So $2 or $1.50 would be something that I would consider a good point of interest as far as looking for that stopping action. What we're going to want to see is we're going to want to see a large volume candle come in. When we see that large volume candle, that's going to indicate that that is indeed our seller's climax. The buyers are coming in. Everybody is saying, yep, that's the level. Boom. You get something like this, that's going to be quite definitive. So once we get that, we can then begin to build our range. So when we have the seller's climax, that is the first thing that we're looking for. After that, you will get your automatic rally. After that, you will get your secondary test. Secondary test. So that is basically identifying the trading range, and then how the price action responds inside of that trading range will dictate what it is. Is it accumulation? Is it distribution? We will be able to discern that as the price action comes in. So stopping action looks to be coming in on UNI. Let's go ahead and take a look at YFI. YFI, whatever you want to call it. So YFI definitely has some bigger stopping action. You can see this increase of supply, this increase of demand coming in. We are getting a good amount of stopping action here. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the preliminary support, this area right here, and this is potentially our seller's climax. So we're looking for a conclusion of this rally. When we get a conclusion of the rally, that'll be our automatic rally point, and then basically that will set the range. And from that point, we continue to analyze the price action inside of the range and try and figure out if it is a redistribution because we are coming out of a downtrend, or if it is in fact a stopping action and we can begin accumulation. Another project that I want to bring to your attention is Hedgic. So if you haven't heard of Hedgic, it's very new. I think their liquidity pool is launching on the 10th, but it's a pretty interesting project. It's interesting to me because what it is, it's basically the first time I've seen a DEX that actually impressed me. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the DEX itself. So this is an Ethereum options decentralized smart contract. This is not like, let's just compare, like, let's go to Rotten. This is a joke. This is a primitive exchange, okay? You can trade on Rotten Swap, but this is kind of a joke coin. It's not really serious. It's not something that I'm really interested in. And I think anybody from traditional finance would laugh at this. Whereas when you go to this Hedgic, now this is something that looks a lot more legit. Traditional finance, we have a lot of traders that are quite familiar with options contracts. This allows you to place an options contract with I think a 4-week period of holding, giving you the right to either buy or sell a options contract on Ethereum, which is, you can use that for hedging. I'm not going to get into options. I'm not exactly very experienced with options, but I do know a little bit. What excites me about this is the fact that this is basically the first time that I've looked at a DEX and been like, wow, this is the future. This is where we are going as far as decentralized financial tools. So for that, I got really excited when I found out that they also have a governance token. And inside of this governance token, we have a little bit of price action. I'm on chartx.pro. It's not on TradingView, obviously, it's too new. But this to me looks, well, if this is, it's very illiquid. Okay, so you're getting a lot of these scammy wicks, you're getting a lot of selling pressure, you're getting a lot of buying pressure. It's kind of confused right now. It's very early days. This, for me, is going to be a very long-term play because of the infancy of the DeFi space right now, as well as the infancy of the traders that exist inside of the system. I feel like a lot of the people that are really heavy into DeFi or, I feel like it's a lot of new investors. And I don't mean that as to be offensive. It's just my observation as to what is happening in the space is there's a lot of new people ever since the events that took place in the world since March, where people are locked in their house. People are looking for other ways to create income, and trading has become incredibly popular as one of those ways. And, you do enough YouTube rabbit hole, you go down enough YouTube rabbit holes, and you're going to end up on a cryptocurrency trading group or trading channel eventually. And this DeFi space is just filled with amateur investors. So right now, I don't think there are too many people that understand options contracts, but more importantly, there aren't that many people using options contracts. So the key to these governance tokens is they are a representation of the users. They are a representation of the community behind the actual platform, behind the smart contract. And at this point in time, I'm not seeing there being too much adoption on that front. But when I look at this, I just get excited, okay? It looks professional, it looks legit. To me, it's worth throwing a little bit of money at, and that's entirely speculative. But when I see something that's this well built and there is interest inside of this project, I just feel as though if I hold it in the long term, it will become a popular token. So that is what I am speculating on. Not really a trade, not financial advice, just telling you guys what it is that I am doing. That is all the time I got for today. If you enjoyed the content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, And until next time, we will see you in the next video. Peace.